Hello again. Although, as I said earlier, the day is all about the beautiful bride, the groom does play his own small part as well. So obviously you need to take some photos of him on his own. My own preference though was not to do formal photos of him like I do with the bride. My groom photos were far more relaxed and casual. I just think that's a better look for the men. After all, they don't have a beautiful dress to show off like their brides. So I used to keep the groom photos very informal and to try and show some of their personality. Many of these images were taken before the ceremony. I like to do some then because at that time the groom could be a bit stressed and it was a good excuse for him to get away for a few minutes and relax. I didn't like to venture too far from the church in case he was needed, and so you can see that many of them are by the church wall or at least close by the ceremony room. Generally speaking, my approach is to chat and have a laugh with people, and I think you can see that reflected in many of these images. It's just a matter of talking to them, asking them questions, and not necessarily about the wedding. I might ask where they're going for their honeymoon, or I might joke about their suit. Do they do it in your size? Or I might joke that they could at least have had a shave before the wedding. You know, come on, for God's sake, please make an effort, man. But they'll always know it's just playing around with them. And as long as you're on good terms with the groom, you can usually get away with that type of joking around and mickey taking, especially in the UK. I'll say that it's kind of our culture here, but it may not go down too well in other countries, so that's something you have to make a judgment on. As far as the posing is concerned, I mostly just ask the groom to put their weight on one leg or the other, and if they were close to a wall or pillar, I'd get them to lean on it, or at least put their hand up on it. Men especially like to lean on things. It makes for a far more relaxed pose, and for full length shots, leaning on a wall and crossing the legs works pretty well too. As always, I tended to shoot mostly in landscape orientation. My preference was to pick a spot with a nice clean background, and so I was able to include plenty of negative space. Here's a sequence of shots of the same groom. You can see how I've tried to vary the images with different styles and a different background. So don't just take one shot or even too many of the same pose. Try different angles, different focal lengths, and some smiley, some more serious expressions. This is a good time as well to get the best man involved, and I'll discuss the photos of the groom and his best man in the next videos. Bye for now.